Thank you everybody for coming tonight. My name is Valerie Hoknes. I'm Terry's wife, for those of you who are not. Thank you. Wow, that's unexpected. So I'd like to just have everybody raise a glass. I'm going to be starting with the first toast of the evening on this roasted toast. I'm going to do the toast. So, to Terry, happy birthday to you, Terry. Happy birthday. So, I've been thinking all day about what I could say about Terry. And I have to say that Terry is probably the most amazing person that I've ever met in my life. He is funny and smart and handsome. He is an incredible husband. He's an excellent brother. He's a man that I'm supposed to be cracking the jokes here, not you, okay? That's good. I'm very pleased to be sharing my life with him, and to say that also he's somebody that I couldn't live without. And a lot of people say, why did you marry Terry? What was the one quality that made him, the one for you? And I have to say that he's an amazing person and an amazing man, and I'm sure that a lot of you met Bob and Obed and Keegan can agree that maybe the one thing that makes Terry so amazing is he has really great boobs. Gracie.
How are we going to do this?
Just remember, you did ask. No, you're not allowed to drink. Okay, so my name is Tracy Hoknes, and just like Terry's mother Bonnie, I'm thankful every day that I have no Hoknes genes in me, that I just married in. Terry actually asked me to do this, and I have to be careful because I have a very loud voice. But Terry asked me to do this, and most of you might think it's an honor, when actually it's just work I didn't get paid for. Again. Yeah. First, we'd like to thank Valerie for leaving his cage open so we could attend tonight. And we'd also like to thank Valerie for also marrying him and taking him off our hands. I was trying to come up with ideas for the toast, the roast, and the toast. And one of the things I came across was, what disease most represents Terry's personality? And I thought to myself, I think it's flesh-eating disease. And actually, I put a lot of thought into that because it's a good choice because it gets under your skin. It's more painful than it looks. And, yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself here. It's more painful than it looks, and it causes nausea just like his jokes. The next thing I came across was Terry was Terry kill somebody, and where would he hide the body? And actually that didn't take me very long to answer that, because I figured, okay, first of all, Terry wouldn't kill anybody because he's just a nice gentleman. But if you have a body, Terry will be more than happy to sell that for you on eBay. And it's not actually that they're not really jokes that Terry tells, they're actually Terryisms, because they're really not funny. And so I like to call them terrible. Yeah, groan all you want. Okay, so the next thing, you know, it must have been hard for him growing up with a sibling like Leslie. Because Leslie is a very sweet, sweet girl. She has a heart of gold, which we all protect, because we'd sell that on eBay too. I was also trying to think of what would I put on Terry's tombstone. And I decided that I would put, "Here lies a man who hit the snooze button on the fire alarm one too many times." Because we all know Terry likes to sleep. There's demon pages. So Terry's all about clean living. He doesn't drink, he doesn't swear, he doesn't smoke. Although he did try to sniff coke once, but the ice cubes got stuck up his nose. And actually, last week we were having lunch and Terry mentioned that he had really big nostrils and he could park a bus up there. Which is clearly an exaggeration. A small compact car, yes. He actually realized when he was a young man that his nose was going to be a problem because children were always trying to feed it peanuts. But actually, Terry, I like your nose. I think it's wonderful. To be able to smell your own ear is quite an accomplishment. And to wake up in the morning and be able to smell the coffee in Brazil, that is fantastic. What are you laughing about? You're so old, you were a waiter at the Last Supper. Your baby pictures were carved on the cave walls. Okay, so Terry is a very hard worker. He works very hard to provide for his family, to secure their future. He's all about money, making money, having a plan for money. Money, money, money. He's actually tried to sell my house numerous times, but luckily I was always home when they tried to put the sign on the lawn. Every week he has a new plan for making money. I call them his get-rich-quick schemes. And I'm pretty sure Bonnie and Bob shouldn't be laughing because you're probably going to be retired in those houses in Detroit. Yeah. And after all, who needs windows and doors when you live in the States, right? Terry's a very talented musician, and most people think that it's a talent, that's the reason why he plays so many instruments. But it's actually because he couldn't make up his mind. He's actually so absent-minded, he stares into the mirror and goes, "Who is that guy?" Although it must be hard for him to try to recognize himself because he actually used to have long, wavy hair until it waved goodbye. He is so bald now that he actually has to be careful going by the window at home because he got arrested for mooning his neighbors. But on a good note, he's saving tons of money on shampoo. I really thought, you shouldn't go too far when you're roasting somebody. So I didn't want to talk about sensitive issues. And Terry's very sensitive about his height. So don't tease him about him or he'll punch you in the knee. He once almost drowned in a puddle. Yeah, I know, grown. But anyway, enough, that's such a small part of him. People actually like Terry don't grow on trees, rather they swing from them. Terry is a rare individual. In fact, they broke the mold when they made him. And it doesn't really matter that it was court-ordered. His favorite food is carbohydrate. And his favorite drink is Coke, which he now uses a straw. Except he gets that pain up here sometimes. It's a straw. He loves to debate issues. He has an answer for everything. It's usually the wrong answer, but he has one. But really, Terry, life begins on your 40th birthday. So does fallen arches, rheumatism, faulty eyesight, and a tendency to tell the story to the same person over and over again. But since you have a head start on that, you shouldn't actually notice any difference. On the bright side, you don't have to worry about hair loss, memory loss, or a reduction in height. That's just your Tuesday. In closing, I'd just like to add that Terry is a very sweet and kind and loving man. And it truly is an honor to be part of his family. And I've been very, very blessed to know him. So if you raise your glasses and toast, please. May you have the hindsight to know where you've been, the foresight to know where you're going, and the insight to know when you go too far.
Thank you very much, Tracy. So we're just going to ask if there's anybody else who would like to come up and say a few words about Terry. Now is a good time.